Imagine a world where the boundaries between human and animal intelligence have been completely redrawn. A realm where lions and tigers possess human-level cognition, creativity, and reasoning. In this extraordinary scenario, these majestic predators would not simply rely on instinct and brute force to survive. Instead, they would harness advanced strategies, build complex communities, and even develop cultures of their own. The implications of such a transformation are staggering. With minds capable of abstract thought, problem-solving, and sophisticated communication, these big cats would likely revolutionize the way they hunt, interact with one another, and even engage in conflicts that mirror human rivalries. In this reimagined world, the traditional hunting methods of lions and tigers would undergo radical transformation. Rather than solely depending on stealth and surprise, they might design intricate strategies that involve planning, coordination, and the use of natural resources in unexpected ways. Picture a pride of intelligent lions gathering in a designated meeting area, discussing the terrain, the behavior patterns of their prey, and the most efficient routes for a coordinated strike. Their approach could resemble a military operation, with roles assigned to different members based on their unique strengths. Some lions might serve as scouts, venturing out to gather intelligence about the movements of prey herds, while others could focus on flanking maneuvers and setting traps. With the ability to analyze data, forecast patterns, and communicate in a language akin to human speech, these lions could refine their strategies to an unprecedented level, ensuring that each hunt is executed with near-perfect efficiency. Tigers, with their naturally solitary and stealthy nature, would also reinvent their hunting tactics. Instead of relying solely on ambushes in dense jungles, an intelligent tiger might develop a system of surveillance and remote monitoring, utilizing the landscape to its advantage. Imagine a tiger using the high vantage point of a rocky outcrop or a cliff to observe vast areas of territory, perhaps even creating rudimentary maps in its mind of the movement patterns of prey animals. It might experiment with different techniques, such as employing decoys or coordinating with other tigers in temporary alliances, to maximize its hunting success. While tigers have historically been solitary, a boost in cognitive ability could allow them to share valuable information with one another in a limited form of communication. Similar to how humans use networks to exchange ideas. Even if they retain their independent streak, these tigers might occasionally come together to form loose coalitions for particularly challenging hunts, pooling their knowledge and skills to secure a meal that would otherwise be unattainable. Beyond the realm of hunting, the prospect of human-level intelligence would fundamentally alter the social structure and communication methods of these big cats. Lions have long been celebrated for their social behavior, living in tightly knit prides with well-established hierarchies and roles. With enhanced intelligence, these prides could evolve into complex societies complete with formalized leadership, specialized roles, and even cultural traditions. They might develop sophisticated forms of communication, vocalizations, gestures, or even symbolic systems that allow them to convey abstract ideas, emotions, and plans. The pride could build communal structures, designate territories with intricate boundaries, and even create rituals that reinforce their social bonds. In this way, intelligent lions might become not only superior hunters but also architects of their own civilization, establishing norms and rules that govern interactions within and between prides. Tigers, on the other hand, would face a unique challenge given their solitary tendencies. However, human-level intelligence might lead them to form their own types of social structures, perhaps more fluid and decentralized than those of the lions. These intelligent tigers could communicate over long distances using signals and shared symbols, forming alliances based on mutual benefit rather than rigid group membership. They might establish networks that allow for the exchange of information, ideas, and even resources, creating a tapestry of relationships that span vast territories. Over time, these networks could develop into complex systems of trade, cooperation, and conflict resolution, similar in some ways to early human societies. While they might never form prides in the traditional sense, these tigers could still build communities that rival those of the lions in terms of sophistication and mutual support. The competition between these two newly intelligent species would likely extend beyond the hunting grounds and into the realm of cultural and territorial dominance. A hypothetical conflict between intelligent lions and intelligent tigers might resemble a grand strategic war rather than a series of individual skirmishes. Imagine debates over territory that are resolved not solely by physical force, but through negotiations, alliances, and even strategic retreats. In such a scenario, the lions might rely on their cohesive, group-oriented mindset to mount large-scale operations, whereas the tigers could leverage their independent and innovative problem-solving skills to disrupt the status quo. The battlefield would be as much about ideas as it would be about muscle, a contest of wits, strategy, and raw power. Each encounter would test not only the physical might of these creatures but also their ability to plan, adapt, and collaborate under pressure. Consider a vivid scene where a coalition of lions, their expressions determined and eyes gleaming with calculated intent, gathers under the cover of dusk to plan a territorial defense. They might be seen huddled together, their body language conveying a sense of unity and purpose as they strategize over the best positions to guard their waterholes, the vital resource of the savannah. In contrast, a lone tiger, equally intelligent but operating on a different paradigm, could be depicted surveying a vast expanse from a high vantage point. Its keen eyes scan the horizon, taking in every detail, while it formulates a plan to disrupt the lion coalition. Perhaps it uses the terrain to its advantage, choosing to strike in the early hours of the morning when the cover of twilight provides a strategic edge. The interplay of these strategies, where collective might meets individual ingenuity, would form the crux of their ongoing rivalry. In this speculative world, the impact of such a transformation would be profound, reshaping the ecosystem and the very nature of the animal kingdom. The introduction of human-level intelligence into these apex predators would likely lead to rapid evolutionary changes. Over generations, the genetic traits that favor cooperation, strategic thinking, and complex communication would become more pronounced. New cultural norms might emerge, and the behaviors of these big cats would become increasingly sophisticated, potentially even rivaling the social structures of human communities. This evolution would not be instantaneous, it would unfold gradually, as natural selection and environmental pressures slowly sculpt these species into forms that are better suited to their new way of life. The consequences for the ecosystem would be equally dramatic. Predatory dynamics would shift, and the balance between predator and prey would be redefined. Prey animals, in response to the new intelligence of their hunters, might evolve more advanced defensive strategies, leading to an evolutionary arms race reminiscent of human technological progress. The landscape itself might even change, as the big cats begin to influence their environment in more deliberate ways, marking territories with intricate patterns, building simple structures for shelter, or even modifying their hunting grounds to maximize efficiency. The ecosystem would become a dynamic arena of innovation and adaptation, where every species is forced to rethink its role in the circle of life. Yet, with great power comes great responsibility, and the challenges of governing such a complex society would not be lost on these intelligent predators. Internal conflicts, power struggles, and the ethical dilemmas of leadership would inevitably arise. Would the lions, with their natural inclination for social order, impose a strict hierarchy and centralized control over their territories? Or would the tigers, favoring independence and flexibility, advocate for a more decentralized, anarchic system of governance? The interplay of these political ideologies could give rise to cultural revolutions within the animal kingdom. As alliances shift and power dynamics evolve, battles between intelligent lions and intelligent tigers might extend beyond physical confrontations to encompass debates over resource allocation, the rules of engagement, and the very definition of community in a world where nature's raw power meets human-like intellect. The influence of these changes would ripple outwards, affecting not only the big cats but the entire fabric of the natural world. Humans, who have long observed and admired these creatures, might find themselves drawn into a new era of coexistence and competition with these reimagined predators. The boundaries between wild and civilized would blur, as intelligent lions and tigers begin to assert their presence in territories once dominated solely by human influence. Urban legends and folklore would be rewritten, and the relationship between humans and these big cats would take on a new dimension, one marked by mutual respect, cautious collaboration, and the ever-present possibility of conflict. The evolution of these species would challenge long-held assumptions about what it means to be a predator, and their rise to prominence could herald a new era of natural history. In this imagined future, the conflict between intelligent lions and intelligent tigers might not be purely antagonistic. They could, over time, learn to coexist, forming alliances to confront common challenges, be it the encroachment of humans into their territories or the unforeseen consequences of a rapidly changing climate. Their advanced intelligence could pave the way for diplomatic negotiations, cultural exchanges, and even joint ventures in resource management. In such a world, the struggle for dominance might evolve into a more complex tapestry of cooperation, rivalry, and mutual benefit. The lions, with their pride-based social structures, and the tigers, with their independent yet adaptable nature, would both contribute to a rich, multifaceted ecosystem where the pursuit of survival is balanced by the need for order, innovation, and ultimately, peace. In essence, the thought experiment of lions and tigers endowed with human-level intelligence opens up a realm of possibilities that challenge our conventional understanding of nature. It invites us to envision a world where the majestic, solitary tiger and the socially complex lion not only survive but evolve into sophisticated, strategic beings capable of shaping their destiny. Their hunting tactics would be refined into elaborate operations. Their social interactions would give rise to intricate cultures, and their rivalries would transcend mere physical prowess to encompass the full spectrum of intellectual and emotional expression. This is a world where the ancient instincts of predation merge with the power of human-like reasoning. A world where every roar and pounce is not just a display of raw power, but also a manifestation of thought, strategy, and a deep, abiding desire to thrive in an ever-changing landscape. Ultimately, whether these intelligent big cats would coexist peacefully or engage in epic battles for supremacy, the very notion redefines the boundaries of evolution. It challenges us to imagine a future where nature's most formidable predators not only rule the wild but also contribute to a new order of life, one where the line between animal and human becomes increasingly blurred. Such a transformation would not only revolutionize the animal kingdom but also our understanding of intelligence, community, and the endless capacity for life to adapt and flourish against all odds.